back to open source. I'm here with Lola Violet. She's got her debut album premiering, but already has like billions and billions of followers across all of her socials, which is amazing. And this is definitely something that I'm very fascinated by. But let's start with Spotify because I don't even know if to be honest, like even go to Spotify. I don't know much about it. Like, what is Spotify exactly, and how has it helped you as a musician?
So it's a streaming platform like any other one, like Amazon, Apple Music, YouTube Music. They're all kind of the same. But what's really helped me about Spotify is its algorithm. I think the algorithm is really, really great. And I actually had a song blow up on TikTok in 2020. It was a cover of a Lana Del Rey song I did. And it just blew up in Indonesia on TikTok. And then a lot of people started listening to it on Spotify. And once you reach a certain threshold of listeners on Spotify, your music just starts getting pushed out to more people. It starts getting on algorithmic playlists, which a lot of other streaming platforms might have, but I've just noticed they're not as good. They don't push you out as much. But these were just really pushing me out. And a lot of people were actually finding my other music through that cover that blew up. So it was just really cool. And to this day, Spotify is still my top streaming platform for where people listen to my music.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, like me, it's kind of like a YouTube for music. Is that fair?
I would say so. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, so you can discover like new voices, and
Oh, yeah.
if someone's popular, it'll send them out, and so that means so basically Spotify is kind of like the first point of entry for a new musician. Is that right?
Say so. I would say it's all the same. There's lots of different, like YouTubes for music, different streaming platforms. So I would say all of them are pretty similar. Apple Music, Deezer, Amazon, Tidal. But
Mm.
again, I do think that Spotify has a much better algorithm that helps you push out your music. There's specific playlists that they make towards a listener. So you can actually select, I believe, when you join the app, which artists you like, and then it'll give you similar artists. There'll also be like a For me, there's a Lola Violet radio, and so it'll have a bunch of my songs in it, but then also other artists' songs mixed in, which is really cool. And then there's different playlists like, "Are you feeling sad today? Listen to these songs," and maybe one of my songs is on there too. So lots of different, unique things towards a listener, which I haven't really seen on other platforms.
Right. Now, again, like YouTube and all these other things, like you don't have to just pick one. Obviously, like there's many of these different platforms, but how does that work? Because there's probably a million of them. You don't want to be in all of them. So is it like you just pick the top five, you focus on two, you want to dominate one? Like what's your strategy that way?
Are you asking me or as a listener?
Yeah,
Like,
for
how.
you specifically.
Oh, okay. I actually just distribute to all of them. So I work with a distributor, and the distributor basically, on my behalf, I'll submit it on my end, and then they will submit it to all of these platforms. So literally hundreds. Spotify, Apple Music are the top two, but there's so many other little ones. There's also lots of the words DSPs or streaming platforms. There's lots of ones in other countries that we actually don't have access to here in the US, but it's still submitted there. But I do say that I personally push Spotify out more on my socials just because it's more popular and my music's already doing better on there. So I figured out as an artist, and I'm sure a lot of artists also feel the same, it's a lot easier to push out what's already kind of doing well and what already has numbers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. So, look, this is probably gonna sound like a question from an old guy because I kind of am. I'm gonna be 47 in December.
Oh.
It's true. It's true. Do you sell physical CDs anymore? Is that just not a thing?
So, fun fact, I actually do now. I never did up
Mm.
until last week. And then when I released my Christmas album, I decided this is the year, this is the time that I'm going to release CDs. And I also have vinyls now, which I'm really excited about too. I've never had CDs or vinyls. So,
Hmm.
very exciting stuff.
So again, we only have 30 seconds for the break, but what? So that's interesting that you decided to do that. Now, why did you decide for physical CDs? Is it because people can buy them and wrap them up as Christmas presents, something like that?
Honestly, that and a lot of my viewers and fans were asking for them. So I was like, why not?
Yeah, okay. It's interesting in a way, like again, like I have been tracking music, and I did record an album years ago, and it's almost like the same business, but just like technology is like such a fundamental part of not just how you get your music out there, but how the customers discover you and other musicians. We're going to get more into that in the next segment. I've got Lola Violet here on open source.